Hello, writers. Welcome to this week's Writer's Tool Shed. We're getting started on our words with week 12 example story. Grandmother and I sat in front of the fireplace, wrapped snug in our blankets. Grandmother held the baby, who babbled softly. Outside, the storm grew more severe, and we nestled closer to one another, our house a haven from the savage weather. All of a sudden, the door slammed open, sending gusts of wind swirling all through the room. I squealed, and Grandmother hugged the baby close. It was Papa, his hair slick with water. "Get out!" he cried. "Out? But where?" Grandmother shouted. "There's no time. Out now!" Papa grabbed the baby and bundled her under his arm. Grandmother and I followed him. Just as we stepped out into the raging wind, we could feel the ground shake. The house behind us crumbled into rubble. I stood staring at our demolished home, hearing the roar of the wind in my ears, feeling the rain lash against my cheeks. Wherever could we go now? So our first word here is snug. It's an adjective and it means tight, comfortable, secure. You can see these dogs are under this blanket. They're wrapped snugly inside of there. You hear the words snug and warm or snug and cozy a lot, but the difference between snug and cozy is more emphasizing the comfortableness. Oh yeah, we're sitting cozy in here. But snug is emphasizing how tightly wrapped you are. So your shoes might be snug if you put them on and they feel tight, or your jacket might be snug if you grew a little bit larger since last year. Snug, cozy is always a good thing, but snug is sometimes a negative thing if it's too much. Babble is a verb and it means to talk with continuous meaningless sounds. So babies babble a lot. Also, that you talk about a babbling brook where the water will make sounds, but you can't tell what they mean. You hear babble and chatter used kind of similarly. They're similar words, but chatter has more focus on words that actually mean something. Like if you say the women were chattering in the corner, they're actually speaking words, but we're not telling you what the words are saying. Whereas babble has the meaning of they're not saying real words; they're making just sounds that have no meaning. Gust is a noun, means a sudden burst, as of rain, smoke, or wind. Sometimes Pokemon does not use terms correctly, but in this case they do, where Pidgey has the move Gust, and they send a gust of wind over at the other Pokemon. And so the gust is the sudden burst. If you're writing with it, you could use gust versus blast. Blast has more to do with sound. And so the sound of something is blasting out. But gust has more to do with the air movement and the shape of what is coming at you. Slick is an adjective. It means smooth and slippery on the surface. If you've ever played an old version of Mario Kart, there used to be oil slicks that you had to avoid. And if you drove over the oil slick, your car would spin around. And because the oil would be so smooth and slippery. And so that's one thing that could be slick. Anything that's wet could be slick to the touch. Slick and sleek sound very similar, and they actually have quite similar meanings. So it's sometimes tough to tell the difference between them. But sleek has more to do with the shape or the appearance of something. So you might see a fancy sports car and you might say, wow, those are sleek curves because it has this streamlined, kind of flowing, cool appearance. But slick is more about touching, like you feel the surface and you can feel that it's wet or that it's slippery. Crumble is a verb to break into small pieces. There's this foundation of a house here that's crumbling, which means the house is not long for this world. And crumble and rubble, we had the word rubble earlier on, and crumble and rubble are very connected because something crumbles into rubble. The rubble is the small pieces that the thing has crumbled to become. And that's it for this week. Have fun with your sentence template.